Hello, my name is Brian Turco. I'm with LiveWell Medical. I'm going to demonstrate how to assemble and use the EasyTrack FS, which is freestanding system, along with the Voyager lift. Okay, so 5 pieces come with the system. You have the 2 bases, the 2 posts, and the actual track that the lift sits on. One thing you have to make sure of on the bases is that they're level, and you level it with turning these knobs to make sure that the base is level and sturdy, giving it support for the post. Okay. And this one's already level. Okay. So once you do that, you can put the post in. Put the posts are self-lining. They have grooves on the side, and they fit down inside easily, so you can't get it wrong. Let's say you try to put it in like that, it would automatically turn. Okay, so they are self-lining. So put both posts in. And posts need to be perpendicular to each other or parallel. Okay, so then you need to place the track on. In order to do that, you have to open the catches. This is what's going to hold the actual track in place. These latches are going to catch on the inside of the track. So you're going to want to make sure you open both of those and that they're in the open spot. Down the track. The track has 2 grooves on the inside, or 2 bars on the inside, which is what's going to be caught on the latches and hold it secure. Okay, so now that the track is sitting on there, push this in, click it on the latch, latch it in. Make sure it's in place, latch it. There should not be any red showing, because if there is, then that means it's not connected correctly. So this is stable or secure. There it goes. Okay, so now the track is secure. And it's not going anywhere. Okay, so now to raise the track, so you just unlatch the 2 brackets, the locking mechanisms that hold the track or the post in place, and then you raise the track. You'll notice on the front, there's actually a measuring bar. This tells you at what height the post is at. You want to make sure that both posts are set to the same height, so whatever height you have. This track the height of the track will go up to just under 8 feet tall. And you need to make sure if you're in a short classroom that you don't hit anything, but I don't think that should be much of a problem. And the width of the track will go up to 115 inches wide, which is just short of 10 feet. So raise it to where you want it. I'm going to set this side to 30.2 and do the same thing on this side. 30.2, and I'm going to lock it in place. And you notice there's no red. The red disappeared off the latches. Okay. So now the track is safe and secure to use. It's not going to fall over. So I'm going to cover the Voyager portable lift. The nice thing about the Voyager is that it has a removable battery, so that you don't have to take it apart. If the battery does fail, you just buy a new battery, plug it in. The battery comes with a charger. Plug the charger in and just literally set the battery on the charger and it'll charge. The green light should come on, telling you that there's power to the charger. The yellow light will come on as it's charging. It will go off when you're done charging. Okay, so you pull the battery off. It will slide into the side of the Voyager and latches in place. To remove the battery, press the red button and it pops out. If anybody's old enough that remembers the old video cameras. I do. So, pop it in place, okay? The Voyager does come with a remote control. Well, not a remote, a hand control. It's a simple up or down. Plugs into the front of the unit. And that's what operates the lift. So, however, if the hand control is lost, torn, broken, or damaged, you can still use it with the buttons on the front. Okay? The lift has a carabiner and then it hooks to the track, trolley system, and that's how it moves back and forth. Okay? If for any reason the battery fails or the unit should fail and you need to lower the lift, this is an emergency release to lower the lift on the back. Okay. But make sure you're holding the patient if somebody's actually in the lift. And I'll go ahead and put the remote back on. And anytime you're not using the lift, you should actually remove the battery and leave it on the charger. It won't hurt the battery to stay on the charger for any length of time. Last thing you want to do is to get where you're going and realize that your lift doesn't work because the battery's not charged. Okay? Now I want to cover the sling and the use of the sling, putting it on. So the sling that we recommend is called a Combi Sling or a quick fit sling. It's shaped like a U, and the reason for that is because it's easy to get on and off of the student. Okay, hammock slings or commoding slings will sit under the student, so if you put them on a wheelchair or you leave them in there, it'll actually start biting into their skin. So these are easy to get on and off. So, okay, things to note on the sling is that they have different color straps, and the head and the feet, the head should always be the same. So if you're hooking this to the lift on the yellow, this side should be on the yellow as well. The leg portion does not have to be the same color. If you're just lifting the student straight up and down, then they can be on the same color. However, the different colors are used for tilting students to different degrees. If you want them in an inclined position, you would change the location of which strap hook you use to hook onto the lift. Okay? So, again, this is the Combi Sling, and it has handles on the back for somebody to assist in guiding on moving the patient back and forth and transferring from one, either a wheelchair, changing table, or standing frame, or any other device you may be trying to move the student to. Okay, so I want to demonstrate putting this on. The handles are always in the back. And for the student, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stand in front of the student, put your knees in front of her, lean her forward, and slide the sling all the way down to the back. Okay, and then these straps, slide the lift over. Take the handle off. And look, I'm going to use the purple side. Make sure that they're slid in and caught inside. So on the legs, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to run the strap under the leg on each side. And there's two ways to hook this to the lift. You can either hook it like this, which is going to open the legs of the student, or you can crisscross them. If you crisscross them, that closes the legs. So if you're using this for bathing or for cleaning, you'd want to open the, leave them on the outside so that it opens the legs. Otherwise, you're going to want to leave them closed. Okay, so in this case, we're going to go ahead and lower the lift. And look on the purple side. Make sure the straps are in there and straight. And again, make sure that the straps are actually in there and secure. Don't ever try to lift the patient or the student with the straps on the outside. Okay? And it's always best to have two people, one to actually help hold and guide the student, and that's what the straps on the back of the lift are for, or the back of the sling are for. As you can see, we have the student up. Then we can slide them over to either a standing frame or a chair or something else. Okay? Then slide the student back. And I'm going to lower. And then when you're back where you need to be and the student's secure, go ahead and undo the straps. Move the lift out of the way. And then remove the sling. And again, lead them to you and pull the sling out from behind her. So the hardest part of this EasyTrack FS system is actually getting the post to retract down into the base. Okay. The way to do that is as you can see, this piece slides up and down. And what you need to do is you need to push this down to release the mechanism, but in order for it to actually release the post, you have to lift slightly on the post and then push down to get it to slide. If you just push on this, it's not going anywhere. So you have to slightly lift the post and then pull it down. So, and just to recap some of the key features, on the lift, you have a removable battery that you have to make sure is charged. On the actual track system itself, you want to make sure that the latches are actually closed so that there's no red showing. Same thing on the top. Make sure that there is no red showing on the top. So again, we just demonstrated how to put up the EasyTrack FS freestanding track system and the Voyager portable lift. It's good for being able to go on field trips, different locations, move it from one classroom to another. It'll hold up to 440 pounds, weight tested, and the different size slings for different size students, and even amputee slings for special needs or different conditions. This is used in quite a few different locations, so it's a solid lift. We've been using them in schools and in facilities, special ed facilities, for years.